I'd like to thank these three young men sitting down front with me. They treat me so good, I begin to feel special. I said they treat me so well, I feel special. Thank you. Thank you. God dog, boy. Boy, you sure to play that. They ain't like the lady say, you play that thing.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Man of Tomorrow here. Thank you for like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Today, I am going to have a conversation, and the very next person who I hear this term come out of their mouth, I'm not going to be nice the next time. The gender war is not over. The gender war has never been over. Here's how you know that the gender war is over. The gender war would be over once the men separated from the problematic counterpart within society and have moved on to something else. That's when you know that the gender war is over. The gender war would be over once the women who no longer have anything else to offer to people in the environment has stopped opening their mouths about how they're trying to qualify for a certain value of guy who makes over a certain amount of money. That's when the gender war will be over. The gender war would be over if you have far older women who are now giving younger women the actual information that they would actually need to be able to form productive families. That is when the gender war is over. That would be the start of when the gender war is over. Then you got 25 years down the road where this stuff is merely an academic lesson rather than a lived experience for most people within the environment. That is when the gender war will be over. You see, you don't recognize it. Because the thing that I say, you see it down the line. You don't see it up front like I do. Dating coaches are part of the gender war. They're leading you right back into the house, burning house that you shouldn't even be dealing with the hope that this stuff is going to work out for you, even though it haven't worked out for them. Especially when you compare their results to other cultures in the world. Runway models don't run societies. Productive men run societies. How do I sound far away? I'm right in front of the computer. Hold on a second. No, I said 100. Now it must be you. So, this is what I'm saying. Most of the children here today were born under a bad system. These children today are having their ability and need to have sex within the environment leveraged against the women within the environment who have far more experience within the environment. And most of the older generation don't say a damn thing about it. Wanna know why? Most of these older individuals was getting at them young girls too. So they tried to leverage the actual operation to make you shut your mouth by making it look like you had to be so compromised by sex within the environment that you would never speak against it. That's how they tried to do that here. Yeah, the sworn secrecy. Because that is what most black men are actually graded on within the environment. The ability to still get some within the environment. That's what the gender war is about. You think that's not part of the gender war? And then you had ex-pimps. And some claim to be former pimps. And some who are current pimps who entered the same environment. They're part of gender war too. They wanted to make access seem so easy that you would be lacking as an individual if you didn't have the exact same access that they did within the same environment. They also joined the gender war. Because most people don't understand, these dumbass street motherfuckers don't realize that you was used as easy sperm so she can maintain the environment. She maintained the environment because of dumb street motherfuckers. That's what she did. She maintained her environment. And this is why all these street motherfuckers are in this space right now. They're in this space right now, complaining about the 94 crime bill. They're in this space right now, complaining about child support. They're in this space right now, trying to act like there was a man back in the day. You ask them what they don't own a damn thing. Nothing. They don't own nothing. But they want to tell you about the days of future past when they used to get all this kind of stuff that seems to be hard for everybody to get today. We're lying about the gender war. For what reason are we lying about a very specific experience? Yeah, if he say something else, get him out of here. He don't seem like he on the right string. But this is where we are today. We have people who claim they want progress for men in general, but black men in specific, but they are holding on to this gangster image. This image that was used by the women to destroy the environment. And they are actually shocked and surprised when the guys within the environment turn their back on their motherfucking ass. Why? These dudes don't mess with you like that. You're supposed to be here to be the actual concierge to the street person. You was here to hide the sins of the street person. That's what your dumbass job was. All right, thanks for the $100 super chat. That's the problem that you don't get. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Yeah, keep trying to play track record. Yes. So you have to understand that until you want to destroy this image of this street guy within Black America, you are not serious about moving forward as people, especially Black people. This image has to go. This image is the reason why we're not ahead of anybody else in society. This image is the reason why we don't take most advantage of things that are going on within America. This image. Because you took up studying this image before you picked up a book and studied some actual tangible stuff because you wanted to be a bitch ass nigga at the end of the fucking day. That's what you fucking wanted. And this is why I don't trust no older motherfucker in this goddamn environment who's not trying to bury this fucking image. If you're not trying to bury this fucking image, I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say about moving forward in any shape, form, or fashion. There's other people who entered the fray as well in the gender war. So-called feminine women ministering to Black men about how she gets it, and she feels your pain as a man within the environment, but is not talking to her fucking homegirls about that shit within the environment. Y'all make it too easy for people to come in this motherfucker and actually co-opt this fucking space. Y'all make it too fucking easy. And every time I look around, there's an old motherfucker talking about how the fucking gender war is over with. How the fuck is the gender war over? When most of these people were born under these badass fucking circumstances, where they ain't got decent fucking options to even fucking get the experience within this environment. How is that possible? Oh, it's very easy to say if it's somebody else that they red pill raging. Motherfucker, I'm not red pill raging. Motherfucker, I'm telling you what's going on the fucking ground. And every time you say the gender war is over, you've boosted the actual status of the woman within the environment. The women have benefited mightily from the black space of YouTube. They benefited mightily from that. You want to know why they benefited mightily from that? It's because we wanted to make it seem rare and special for men to get in abject circumstances to where they can actually dodge being in. You have 50-year-old fuck niggas, several of them at this point, coming around having beginner conversations about the culture to which they fucking live in. One nigga is talking about having a body game to sell to old hoes. So that way you could take over his child support fucking payments. You really think this shit that they say in the Wide the Fuck Open ain't shit that they hear on a daily fucking basis? Are you fucking crazy? Then you have motherfuckers who done dropped out of life over in other countries and shit, bragging about numbers, getting illicit money out of you dumbass niggas, nowhere near trying to help out none of you motherfuckers for real. You motherfuckers sitting here being entertained, you fucking clapping your hands like dolphins and shit. You think that shit's cool? That shit ain't cool, my man. Bruh, listen, the gender war ain't over. It's going to keep going until you decide to move the fuck on from somebody who's actually cultured within this environment. And then the most compromised dudes among you tell you that the shit's going to be the same everywhere you fucking go, even though they ain't fucking been nowhere. Men of other cultures don't allow these type of motherfuckers to get access to anything. This is what this shit's about. There's no reason to lie about the fucking gender war, man. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Now, our place is nothing but a place to be clout chased off of. Nothing but a place where anybody can just come in, claiming like they give a shit about black men, and just do whatever the fuck they want to just to make a dishonest buck out here. You sitting your motherfucking ass at home in front of a fucking computer because your ass is not needed anywhere else in the fucking world right now. I get that you got to make extra fucking money, but you want to eat off the fucking children in the environment that has a nearly 100% success rate. You don't think the fake internet alpha boom online was not part of the gender war? I have never seen a man who grew up in a household with a strong male figure who need alpha advice from any of these internet niggas. Internet niggas who's trying to socialize you into thinking that the society can't change for you. Well, it can. It's called choice. They're trying to socialize choice away from you. They want you to make you seem that choice is the same everywhere. So that way you will never move on to better shit. Then they had the nerve to go out the dudes who wanted intercultural shit overseas. A lot of these fuck niggas came up here talking about that shit. Oh, well, you got to be down with this. You got to deal with some of the worst shit on the planet so that way you can feel like a man. Man, fuck that. The reason why you get your shit together is not so that way you can throw this shit away in the face of people who never have the culture of actually appreciating the shit. Why would they want you to leave if they can't leave? It's not my fault you got back child support or a fucking felony that you can't fucking go nowhere. Nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You're supposed to get your stuff together and you're supposed to go to the best environment where you get the best result. It is very unnatural to be on the market this long as a man and definitely for a woman. Of course it's going mainstream black male media first. First media. I agree. Actually, it's being restarted by most people within the environment who don't pass the actual standard of masculinity. And is actually talked to by the women within the environment who don't pass the actual standard of femininity. So you got two sides of a coin who don't live up to their actual biological things within society, trying to run the actual conversation around shit that they're not even qualified to even talk about within the same society. We have got to stop lying about this gender war. What do you think gaining game within this environment does? If the only thing you're going to do with game is to take your ass right back into an environment that you could easily dodge and practice that same thing within that environment so that way they can get the most out of you, but you don't get shit but access out of them. That's also part of the gender war. Selling your ass enough hope so that way you think that you're going to get a hell of a lot of shit out of somebody who got years of experience over you. This is why you got to stop lying about gender war. If the gender war was over, we wouldn't need new personalities coming into the space, redoing the same content over and over again if the gender war was over. Right? We wouldn't need resets over and over again because most people in this space have not made any type of progress within this space and within their life. That's why resets matter. Resets matter to people who haven't made any progress. Resets matter to people who's waiting for these women to be in abject pain so that way they can be turned to. That's why they're here. That's why it's revolutionary to talk to women on panels. Why? Because they think they're that much closer to getting inside them drawers. What's going on, Brady? But this is where we at. We keep lying about this thing and allow people to lie about it on our behalf and call themselves leaders within the space, who call themselves older fucking black men. This is some bullshit. You replace bad experiences with better experiences. Better experiences that suit you. This is why these dudes didn't like the tricking argument. Because the tricking argument commodified their actual thing that they chased their entire life and turned it to a singular experience. Oh, they didn't like that at all. You must earn this stuff. You can't go out and pay for it. These are the dudes who are on child support telling you that you can't pay for this thing on an a la carte basis. Because you're not supposed to get the most out of her. She's supposed to get the most out of you. That's the way that works. That's the way they want that to work, because they want it to work that way so that way they can get some trickle down money off of you. They already told you that she ain't gonna change, right? If they socialize you in the saying that she ain't gonna change, why on earth would you want to deal with something that somebody else had over and over again? This is the problem. It's the older black men that are the problem. When all these different facets of destroyers of the black environment came to black YouTube, you didn't hear shit out of these PhDs. You didn't hear shit out of these people who've been here for a long ass time. You didn't hear nothing out of nobody. You want to know why? Through all the commotion, they can actually strip mine the environment and they could just sit back and be the OGs within the environment. They didn't care about things paying. This is where we're at. This is where we are. Because anybody who gave a shit about black men ain't sitting out here bragging about how much money they're getting out of black men, even though they are not in the fucking United States or nowhere near trying to help your motherfucking ass. But you got to realize, choice is powerful, man. The abject choice that you can get all the way away from this stuff and get your stuff together and actually keep it. You don't need but 25 or 30 grand a year in most places in the United States to actually get a mortgage. I don't want you to shoot that low. I'm just telling you how not getting anybody pregnant and having a kid when you definitely don't need one. It's okay to wait, man. It's okay to wait to have better experiences. But see, these people want to socialize you into giving up hope that there ain't going to be no better experiences. You need to get in the game now. So they leverage your inexperience against her overexperience. And that's how you end up here. Dude, they're their own team, man. They're their own team. And I don't mind them being their own team, but we got to be honest about this. You don't put severely neglected men together with overly experienced women. Not in this culture, you don't do that. That's not going to work out well for both sides of the coin. It's going to work out well for one side of the coin over the other. This is where we are. This is exactly where we are. The reason why we're here is because the society has failed here. I know you don't want to look at it as failure because you haven't got yours yet. Failure is not based on the fact of whether you get yours yet. It's based on the simple fact of what this is versus other competing societal things along the same lines. The culture warrior is what rises beneath this. We went from an active war to a cold war. The Cold War was fought over many different generations. And that's what we have right now, a Cold War. The war has went from actively lobbing nukes to everybody taking this quote unquote new information and putting it inside their life to use in their own environment. So the actual gender war went from the bigs of the space having it to people taking this information from the space and waging their own gender war within their own life. That's what they want to do. They want to make it seem normal that this is the way things always were because it takes the onus off them for not leading the situation the way that it should have been. If your ass is over probably 51, 52, your ass is responsible for this outcome. I think you need to shut the fuck up. I think you need to get your motherfucking ass all the way off the field, all the way off the goddamn property. You're done. I agree, Belgino. Yeah, man, like, dude, you know what, man? Like, it was an epidemic of these motherfucking online hucksters and shines coming into this fucking space, misleading fucking young ass dudes who they know has been raised in an environment where they cannot fight against the actual object of trying to make mama happy. Same people trying to tell you how alpha they are. But when it comes time for them to talk about their alphaness, it has nothing to do but with a biological function. We gotta stop lying about this gender war shit. The only people who think the gender war over is street niggas, fuck niggas, and absolute niggas, period. There ain't nobody else who think that the fucking gender war is over. Nobody thinks that shit. There's too much shit that has gone wrong in this fucking society, and the kids that are here who can't even fucking produce. Period. Which is what you're supposed to do as a man, but also the environment is supposed to be as such to where you don't run into actual abject failure at a near 100% rate. That's the problem. Nobody wants to tell the truth because nobody wants to save the youth. I'm going to say it again. Nobody wants to tell the truth because nobody wants to save the youth. They want the youth to be misled until they have a kid and they can't produce either. So that way these 40 and 50 and sometimes 60-year-old dudes can be ahead of the youth. My grandfather told me about these motherfucking people. Pointing them out to me. We're going to be surrounded by them people. Don't you be one of them. That too, Aegon. That too. Every time you look around, you see one of these street huckster and shine motherfuckers trying to tell you about, oh man, she did it because of supremacy, man. Hey man, you just gotta let her go, man. Man, let her go, man. Let her go, man. You know, let her feed the fuck niggas in the environment, man. She ain't that bad, man. You know, you can wife up. I'm like, nah, man. Man, none of this. None of this. That's where we at. That's why they're here. You have to realize that this image has to go. It's all hiding behind this image. There wouldn't be too many people within this environment acting like a street nigga if they didn't think that they was going to be rewarded with welfare pussy because of this shit. There wouldn't be nobody fucking exercising that shit if that wasn't the actual end result of it. We know that. But you have to understand, man. I went over this earlier in the week, but I will go over it with you. What's going on, Hope? But I'll go over it with you about what to look out for when you're talking to older black men, and when older black men want to come back to the environment and start talking all this shit about how they give a damn about younger people. I'm not gonna put it on the screen, but I'm gonna go to my community tab because I had to point it out with somebody, tell somebody about what was going on. Hold on a second. Oh, he deleted the comment, so that deleted the thread along with it. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what these punk motherfuckers do, man. You know, they come in here with all this fucking bullshit, and then when it comes around to it, they just delete the fucking comment so the whole thread go with it. You have to realize that any person who has a PhD or claims they have a PhD, if they come to a space, they have to be here to destroy this image. Because you became a PhD because you didn't want to be a productive man within the fucking environment. And PhDs are not going to do anything but reperpetuate the actual circumstances and the actual shit that led them to think that they were running shit in the first place. PhD feminists who added shit to feminist concepts, they did not want to see feminism in. So what would PhD black men come to an environment and think that they want those actual things to end? They're reperpetuating the same conditions that allowed them to have power in the first place. And why on earth would they want those circumstances to end so their power can be removed right along with it? That's why this stuff is such a problem, man. You have to realize that this gender war has been started on a household by household basis, and it is exactly going to be fixed on a household by household basis. You cannot put two sides together on the same coin where the man is trying to get the little femininity that's left out of a woman and the woman is trying to get the most productivity out of a man. You cannot put those two people together within the same environment. You can't do that. That's the great and grand lie about this. That there's all these serviceable, chaste people that you can have experiences with and not get torn up about it. That's the grand lie about it. First, they have to set down a couple of set of lies that kind of stack on each other like lasagna. Think about it as the macaroni at the bottom of the actual baking pan. The actual lie that the stuff always been this way. And then you have the actual meat and the cheese, which is I'm not responsible for it as an older man. And then you have the macaroni on top, which is you're on your own, young man, because I couldn't do nothing to my generation. You got to start asking these people questions, very hard ones. You can't allow people to come around here freeloading off the street image to get inside your head. You have to realize that these people are not a part of Black America. They became Black America because they sabotaged the shit out of Black America. That's what they wanted to do. And that's what they're doing. All you got to do is look at the people who don't criticize street culture. It's very easy to see. No criticism for Keisha, no criticism for Pookie, no criticism for the Black man and the Black woman, the older one, who watched this shit go down, and no criticism from the actual women of the same age range of the women who are currently in the environment right now. If they're not talking about that shit, they don't want male progress or Black progress, period. And they have the nerve to cry victim and foul when the street niggas come for them. The street niggas never had any kind of fucking respect for you. They were okay with your motherfucking ass being around, but the moment they couldn't use your motherfucking ass for nothing else, they was gonna get your ass up out of there anyway. This is why I had a very strong non-fuck nigga policy. Fuck that. I'm not going to be around you if you're on that bullshit. Fuck that. This is where we at. Why? Because older individuals are not reminding you that these forces are still here. We got dudes who are OGs within the environment. No telling how many kids they sent off to being maimed or paralyzed or outright killed so he could keep his position within the environment. That's what this shit is. I'm so glad I know what life looks like and feels like not having these people around. But the level of high failure within the Black environment is the reason why these people are a mainstay within the Black environment. Now, just imagine if everybody did not have the same starting point, but you have to forgive everybody within the environment. If you forgave everybody within the environment, that obviously would actually go the most toward the people who have shit to get away with within the environment. This is where we are. But we want to keep lying about the gender war. The gender wars just went down to a new generation that don't nobody want to steer away from these bad option choices and decisions. They want to make it look like you can only have the right to complain about the environment after you done went through hell and high water and came on the other side of the environment, knowing damn well you're not going to be unscathed once you get there. This is where we are, folks. Everything that you've seen throughout black culture since the 60s is exactly what has went on within this space in the past 3 years. People pick up a cause that they claimed that they cared about. People who wanted to be in charge of things that you thought that they cared about. Next thing you know, they're bragging about numbers and how much illicit money they're getting out of y'all without any effort. That's where we're at. They didn't like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson, but they became the conservative version of Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson right in front of your face. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you up front, productive men are the enemy to these men. Men who can independently survive without the opinion of the counterpart within the environment and the ability to compete with the actual dominant society within the environment is these people's enemy. If you're a productive member in the environment, you don't have kids by a counterpart who don't give a damn about you, count yourself lucky. It ain't that many of us out here. Remember, they try to castigate the environment based on how much trouble you can get into, not how much trouble you stay out of, which is the actual measure of a man. The measure of a man is how much stuff you're not compromised by, not how much things you are compromised by. And I never had to change my mind on anything. But if I see something wrong, I'm going to point it out because that's how much I care about most of these people within this environment. But at least your ass is going to know from me that this shit ain't cool and this shit ain't right. And most of these older dudes cannot be trusted. Most of them. I'm not talking about a Nick Taylor, Nagone, or Lawrence Guy. I'm talking about the people who sit around these pieces of shit, who collaborate with these pieces of garbage. And try to act as if these people are people who we should trust. We can't have this around us, man. Your choices, the things you stay out of, that's going to end the gender war. You know it's not going to end the gender war? Trying to game your way through guaranteed consequences. That's not going to end the gender war for you. You're going to enter that gender war, you're going to get torn up, and then you're going to come out here lying like you fucking winning, like most of these pieces of shit out here right now. This female is their greatest fucking failure. Their greatest fucking failure. They would never tell you that shit. Every day they wake up, every paycheck that they look at, this chick is still fucking them. For a child that don't even meet, have any hand in raising or any of that shit. But they want to make it look like that they're fucking winning. Man, these dudes have lost everything. It's the greatest lie out here. knowing goddamn well that the first baby mama they have look way worse than average at best. Tell me I'm lying. These people got their life fucked up by somebody who look way worse than average at best. But they want to tell you how they get dimes and shit on the regular. Same dudes. Brilliance, I don't think that's the case. I think that gender war to which you're talking about is a orchestrated thing within the environment, so that way everybody can make money. Yeah, it's an orchestrated environment. There's no way that this stuff is organic. It's orchestrated. I get why it's orchestrated. It keeps all of those people in power. But like I said, if you moved on and had better experiences, that's the only thing that's going to be able to solve this issue. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If y'all want to come up, come up. If not, a couple minutes, I'm gonna get up out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to put it in there now, Belgium. Yeah. You're right, Blaze. That's what it is, especially this type of beef. Which I'm not against, because I want to see all the arguments. You know, you could put it up to like, 1.5 speed and just fly through this stuff very easily. You know, you don't see anything that's different, but it's good to know what's out there. So that way you don't fall victim to very predictable things that happen within the environment. I know they do. It's the same everywhere. Listen, man, if it's the same outcome everywhere, the same input is the same. I know that that's the case. I know. I really know that that's the case. That's the great thing about it. We gotta stop lying about the gender war, man. All right, cool. All right, there, guy. Yeah, I'll keep it open. But y'all gotta be better than this environment, man. Because what they're doing is they're trying to make it look like you're missing out on life by not engaging into these guaranteed horrific circumstances. But you got to be better than that, man. Oh, you got the background on, Gino. Because what they're doing is they're trying to make it look like you're missing out on life by not engaging into these guaranteed horrific circumstances. I mean, Blaze, it's repeating because nobody has gotten out. It's not really repeating because of repeating's sake. It's repeating because there's a lot of people at home right now, man, and they can't really get out of them environments. So when you're stuck in an environment that you have no hope of getting out of, the only thing you do is you go out there what you think is the most amount of power you can get out of the environment. That's the way that always have ever worked. Gino, you ready?
Yeah, my bad. I had it on my phone and then I had it on my MacBook. I just realized that it was still up on my MacBook. Yeah, man, you're speaking about some very factual stuff, man. It's very disheartening to hear some of these conversations that people are having, and I don't think these conversations are based in rationality. They're mostly based in just emotion, right? Um, Brothers be coming on here, and I understand brothers want to talk for in regards to black males issues, right? But I mean, is it that you cannot you talk about black male issues and still deal with situations where you have to be responsible and still be a responsible father? Why do you have to put your fail, deadbeat, irresponsible father duty in intertwine it with black males issues?
That's what I never got, man. It's like, dude, listen. Um, we know how bad some of the choices are here, but if you get to drag some of your child support bullshit into a black male space about progress, dude, hey man, your child support issues is not about black male progress, man. Your child support issues is thanks to the fact that you got into the wrong woman for the wrong fucking reasons, man. You should have vetted harder, and most of these people have post hoc rationalization shit. No matter how hard you vet, they can just turn around and be like, "Man, fuck all this. I'm just gonna take the money and get up out of here and get me a new dude." So
Yeah.
that's just where we at, man. And it's like we can't be talking about how the gender war is over. It ain't fucking over. You got kids who are here right now who don't have a place to stay, who's out there begging for money, who's being kicked out of God knows circumstances, and that's not even counting the kids that grow up in the damn system in foster homes and all that other shit. They part of the gender war too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the kids actually are the fucking consequences of the shit that's going on.
And I just don't get it how you you as a man, as a grown man, as an adult, you cannot see how you respond to the situation as far as you having a child. How you're kind of end up creating the same circumstances that you on here come on here bashing. You creating the same circumstances. Um, these guys come on here, they're talking about, oh well, they about to forgive student loan. They need they need to forgive child support. What?
Like, like, look, man, like I seen one of these guys who claim they care about black men, who didn't take a position in the election, by the way. But the first thing he was complaining about is, oh, Joe Biden won't live up to his campaign promise of forgiving student loans. I'm like, this is the type of stupid shit I'm talking about right here, man. You didn't take no fucking side because you knew what these people would do if you took the side that you actually think about, because these people are not stupid. It's just that, they talk it down to certain people within the environment, right?
Yeah,
Because that's what gives them power within the environment, is to know the actual thing from beginning to end.
yeah, and
Oh man, wait, hold on a second. Oh man, that was very major. Those people thought that they was going to get that dude's stuff after he died, and those people was making online videos about how they didn't care about how that person died. Crazy, crazy.
hmm
And it's like this, man. It's like, look, there's only a certain period of time where we just gonna keep allowing this shit to happen from other people within the space, man. I'm being extremely patient, but I don't like being patient, man. I like, going after motherfuckers. But all right, man. So you didn't tell me what AFSC you was.
I was a 3S man. I was a supply man.
Oh man,
Yeah, I'm one
second hottest women in the Air Force.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. Yeah, man. It's kind of it's mind-boggling, man. When I hear some of these guys, they come on here and they push some of these talking points, right? It's like it's as if they got a lab. They go in and they're jotting down these stupid talking points. Um, Dudes be coming with all type of stuff, like the junk don't even make sense, man. Like you can if you have a child, whether you wanted that child or not, that's your child. Don't get mad because hey, her mother may be a slut. So what? Does that mean you do not have to take care of your child? Like I just don't I don't get I don't get that. But we seem to be just in line with some of these other stupid stuff people talk about on here, right? When you look at the election, you know what has happened with the elections and politics around this space. You see people who are friends with a certain people. I will not name names. People's best homeboys saying dumb shit. Now you're supposed to be highly intellectual, highly philosophical. You got all sort of abstract and esoteric ways of describing situations, right? You got all kind of terms you can come up for shit. But you see your homeboy over there doing some dumb shit. If MOT is my homeboy, like when I was in the military, if me and my boy we go out, we do something. Let's say we leave England, our station in England, and we go to Germany to spend a weekend because we got a let's say we got a 3-day weekend. If my homeboys see me doing some dumb shit that can get us in trouble, because MOT, you know how it goes in the military, they will hear about it on base before your ass even make it back on base.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
So if my homeboy see me doing some dumb shit and my homeboy don't correct me, you know what? That dude doesn't. He got no love for me.
And here's another thing, man. It's like I'm glad I went into the military at 17 because them older dudes didn't let me get away with shit, man. Them motherfuckers like, look, hey man, we here and nobody give a fuck that you 17 and that you gonna have your fuck up years around us getting us dropped and shit all the time, man. Hey man, we ain't having that shit, man. They're like, look, man, you 17. We don't care where you was at or where you grew up at, man, but you gotta act like a grown ass adult. Like up front, like man, like they didn't really give me any type of leeway to go out there and mess up among the group. What's going on, the glorious one? Yeah, man, but that's what it was, man. It was like you had to be disciplined like all the time, man, and they didn't let you off the hook, man.
But what if you slip up? Will somebody, because they're your friend, they're your homeboys, they know you? Like I'll say, for example, like they see you eating. I don't want to get too graphic, but I want to get graphic so people really get an idea what I'm talking about. If they see you eating a plate of nails, let's just say so. Do you think those people would have been like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Nah, it's not. It's just that a lot of people want to be the cool uncle, man, who come in with all the information. The dudes who come in who was always cool with the actual older dudes within the environment and the street dudes within the environment that they would never fit into at any point in time in life, except for the fact when it comes to misleading people, because all these dudes have the same vested interest in not telling the truth about what happened within the environment, and definitely got the vested interest of making sure these young dudes don't become better than they do. Right?
Yeah, which is evil. I will say.
Yeah, man. But this is just how these people are. Hold on a second. What's going on, Aegon? What's going on, man?
What up? What up? So, yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you are.
You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, I came up the same way. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the oldest in like throughout my whole life. So everywhere I was, I had to go by the rules, the standards. But I also saw people that didn't have to follow the rules, but I would still be held by the rules. And I saw how that eroded my family. It eroded teams I was on, and also the players too. They basically got like leeways that other people didn't. Um, you gotta have standards, period, and everybody gotta follow them, or the shit it's not gonna work at all. It's just how it is, man. And then as soon as you let your best friend get away with something, the sandial starts for when he gonna do that to you, or you gonna do that to him. So are y'all really still friends?
Yeah, I mean, but in this environment, people want to be the one who sits back and watch everybody take L's while they hold all the information on the L's that they're about to take to be secret towards other people. And
That's why I don't trust cats. That's why I put other people on that's why I put other people on deck to see how they feel about certain situations. And if they want to be neutral, I want to hear a great neutral response. Like kind of like with you, with basically how you feel about the Republicans. That was a great response. The Republicans are the conservatives, are the Democratic conservatives of the South. So you would have beef with them. So when I hear culture warriors pushing Republican rhetoric, but they're not talking about policy, that makes them look crazy. So I don't know how to feel. So that's perfectly neutral. But I don't do the neutral with I'm just neutral because I just don't know. That just shows me that you probably feel opposite than I do, but you don't want to tell me. Meaning you're gonna be a future snake, and that's what a lot of these older cats do. They want to be that, like you just said, they want to be that cool uncle that do like, I don't know, man. You know, it's just crazy out here, man. It is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You're gonna see all these fucking job ass lines. It's gonna lead you somewhere stupid.
They have some very smart. Yeah, I'll honestly say smart. I know some of y'all may not agree with me. I know one brother in particular, named Sorry man, nameless, but he's smart. He's smart. He know words. He can talk. He got the right cadence and shit. I mean, he actually does know stuff. But what does that mean if you happen to be an intelligent person? You you speak, articulate yourself very well and whatnot. But at the core, as people are watching you, you're getting several good opportunities to show your honesty, to show your character. That matters more. You never do that.
yeah, I mean, man, but you have to realize, man, that being a culture warrior is far easier than going out and learning the information about anything.
Right.
Like, it's too easy for people to come out here. Like, okay, just take the crime bill, for instance, and the sentencing requirements. Now, these people would get a lot of sympathy from me if they were to come around saying, hey, man, I got like a 20-year or 25-year sentence for just having an actual baggie on me that I was selling. I would still know that they're lying, depending on what state that they're coming from. But it's much easier than saying that, oh, I was just a dude who was out there slanging, and if I wouldn't have got caught or went to jail, and they don't know shit about the topic or subject or anything. But it's like,
Mhm.
bro, you were still selling poison within the environment, and you thought that you got to do so because you needed money. So I'm like, but all these things that happen in the environment is not so cool, right? Yeah, I mean, but that's just how these things go sometimes. Let me go to the glorious one. $10. People are phony, kicking into space with money. 1 minute talk crazy about them, and minutes later trying to break bread with them. Yeah, man, I can't fuck with that. I cannot fuck with that. I cannot fuck with that. Because, a lot of people try to get back cool with me and shit, and I'm just not part of that type of shit. You know,
Yep.
no, if you got fangs, man, it's hard for me to think that your ass gonna go back to incisors and regular fucking teeth after you showed the fangs, man. It's kind of hard, man. Sorry. Yeah, but that's right.
Can I say something about the thing you said about PhDs?
Yeah.
Black males with PhDs should be looked at with high scrutiny.
High fucking scrutiny.
Especially if they're trying to solve this problem, because this problem has been around for over 100 years. And none of them have seemed to found the answer. The funny thing is that every college in this country is a military research facility. You might not see it as that, but it is. And we have HBCUs for Black people. And they still haven't figured out this problem. They haven't figured out the problem. And we know the problem with the relationship between Black men and Black women. What does that mean? That means they don't want to solve the problem. So if you see a PhD that's tight with a whole bunch of other PhDs, and he had his tenure for this long, and he pushes for Black male advocacy, you got to look at him with some high scrutiny, because he should have a list of enemies that he rails at. From feminism,
he better.
The white feminism, white racist policies, and there's a few other ones, but those are two top ones. I can't think of them off the top, but because if they don't rail on those hard and have like I'm talking about I'm talking about they don't have no flip over from those. Like those are like key points that basically they can't work with, because if you want this Black family thing to work, if you want this, and you're a PhD and you in this space, that means that you got to get the women in line. You have to. There's no ways about it. You playing around. And you're not gonna come in here flexing your degree on the idiots and get away with it, because we know what you are.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Do you really think we can get these quote unquote get these women in line? I mean, don't you think that may be an exercise in fertility?
No, what I'm saying is that we can't get the women are done. What I'm saying is that if you're a PhD and you basically come into this space and you're flexing like your doctorate, you kind of show that you already compromised. Majority of them are, because most PhDs run especially if they run into intelligentsia circles. So you will see where they came from. And if they're not basically pushing for the Black family to come back together, or basically holding women to scrutiny and things like that, they should be saying some really radical shit compared to today's standards. Then they're playing around. They're like, let's go like this. Michael Eric Dyson, Cornel West, those guys, they know what the problem is. They know what the problem is at its base root. They're not going to talk about it, but they use their PhD to hop on shows and be looked at as intellectual figures, like they're talking heads, but they playing around.
Yeah, I mean, man, like I said, man, these dudes are not stupid. I mean, they come around with this stuff because they're really playing everybody for a fool within the environment. And the only thing they're trying to do is they're trying to be the street dude with education. So that way they could be the one who don't ask legitimate questions. Now, they're smart enough to know, but they don't want to ask any legitimate questions on how things have changed. I think these new PhDs are not any different than the older PhDs in the older generations who just let stuff go on so that way they can keep their position within the environment. I don't think they're any different, man. I don't think they're any different.
Yo, can I add something to that question that he asked?
Yeah, go ahead.
Their job, basically, they should have a track record of trying to get the women in line. And then they should be standing on the shoulders of the old PhDs saying, that doesn't work. So what do we do next? Black men, stop fucking with these women. And we should have at least 60 years of that. But we do not. It always gets reset. It always gets reset because nobody wants to talk about the real issue. They want to put all the responsibility on the man, none of it on the woman, and then watch the whole thing burn down and then come back 20 years later talking about we need to get back together.
Well, I think you. I don't know if it's a slip of the tongue, but I think you may have mixed the two, what you were saying and whatnot. I think maybe you clarify this for me, but based on what MOT has been speaking of tonight and obviously lately for the past couple of weeks or whatnot, it seemed to me that they people in this space, they mostly want to hold women. They think responsibility belong only to the women, not to the men. As far as accountability is something that only goes for the women, not for the men too. And they're not telling these men who may have made mistakes, sleeping with the wrong woman, or just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know what's up. We watch these videos. We see what happened. We see the world stars. We know how communities are, right? But you find some of these brothers, you know, that you may see on World Star or whatnot, doing dumb shit. You can find these same kind of brothers here on YouTube complaining, women this, women that, and you'll find other guys that are very popular. The only talking points they have is like they be right there as soon as they watch the news, they're rubbing their hands. Yes, I'm gonna make me a video. I'm gonna talk about how these black women, they're gonna suffer. The economy gonna crash. They're gonna suffer. Yes.
And they kill me trying to put them on the negotiation table too. It's like when I go to these streams, I laugh at these niggas, man. I'm like, they already done. I mean, I just talked about it in the Brain Trust earlier, you know, like the sapiosexual stuff. And I'm like, man, if you're done with them, just be done with them. Like this one dude tried to have all these weird debates and the same regurgitating talking points I've heard almost a decade on this YouTube, and it's just laughable at this point. I mean, you know, conservatives claiming like they're real conservative, and you come to find out that they have left-leaning, you know, ideologies, and it's just like this whole last year, you know, the election I voted for the other side, not Trump. And they got upset that we voted for the other side, you know, the ones that have voted, you know, and I'm waiting on tomorrow to see who's going to win the Senate race in Georgia. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, but somehow the track record doesn't come into effect or play when it doesn't care a shit about their narrative. But like, here's another thing that we don't have that I'm starting to think that I need to do alone. We don't have a cultural after actions report every 4 fucking years.
Right.
Like there has never been PhDs anywhere who have done like a cultural after actions report about where the statistics are trending and what areas for black people, especially when it comes to leaving these motherfuckers alone altogether. Because if this shit would have been done, and if this shit would have been in high circulation like rap music about how bad this shit is getting, we would have already left this shit alone. Like the men would have been separated from these actual eventual outcomes. Now, the women within the environment, they still would have had access to these, you know, the MAGA elite within the environment because, you know, they use those guys to gain control of the environment while they celebrate sexual access like dummies, right? But it's like there isn't any of that happening. Like there are sites where you can see the actual numbers itself, but there isn't like the people who claim to be PhDs who come out here who never talk about those stuff, man. They never talk about that. Ever.
Yeah, ever.
Okay. Belogrino, you said the guys don't hold men accountable.
Yeah, a lot of them doesn't seem to have a desire to. Most of their content seem to be geared towards, I don't like to say shitting on black women, but you know, because if you say, oh my God, they're shitting on black women, you know, then they're like, oh my God, that nigga Samp, you know. most of their content seem to be geared towards criticizing the actions and the lives of Black women, the status, not just the life and actions, but the status of and that's a whole another beef, right? The status of Black women, and these people, and sometimes I'll be right here watching these people, man. I'm like, man, I wonder if this dude got a daughter, and if he's gonna tell his daughter, you better not go to college. You better stop thinking about trying to be a medical doctor. Like, I wonder.
Yeah, they probably do have a daughter or something, but if you come to find out they do, it sends a bad message, and that ideology just messes their head up, and then they grow up to think like them, and that's like what you see, like a Candace Owens. I'm like, damn, how do you think like that? You have to look at that as the big picture in the future,
Well, let's play real life.
Mhm.
I got 2 daughters. I let them listen to Tommy Sotomayor. I let them listen to MOT. I let them listen to Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
And I talked to them while I was on.
How old are they, bro?
I'm 33.
Okay.
And I tell
your kids, they're young, right?
8 and 13.
Okay.
8 and 13. Okay.
The first one, my wife had her when she was 17, and we met in college. And then the second one is my full blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I play this stuff around them. When me and my wife were married, we're not together now, but I still play around my 8-year-old because she's around me. And I talk to him about it. So I'm like, you don't want to be like those people.
Okay, that's good.
Women are bitches. You don't want to be a bitch. Your mom took steps to be a bitch, and she basically had to suffer for it.
Wow.
And that's how you should react to it. I mean, like, just because you criticize Black women does not mean you don't love your daughter. I mean, that's just the opposite. How do I tell my daughter that these people should be respected, and then be mad when she's a stripper later?
Yeah. I'm not saying that you, for example, I mean, you're a good father and everything, but I'm saying, but you got these dudes that are delusional, like mentally ill. We discussed better on the Brain Trust, and we talk a little bit about that. And they just have a psychosis. Yeah, they have
mentally ill, man. I had to unsub a lot of. I had to unsub to many of these channels.
Yeah, I have to. But I'm just saying it for example, like that's common in this space. So you got to be careful who you listen to.
Hold on.
Go crazy.
The thing is, if PhDs, men and women, would have created propaganda teaching the Black boys and the Black women not to be like this, we wouldn't have this problem. But they are in cahoots with it. So you will have men on the internet speaking very ill about Black women, which they aren't wrong.
Yeah, I understand.
But let me add this, bro. I mean, you just said something, in regards to, you may have let your daughter listen to this content.
I do. I played around her.
Yeah.
We ain't saying you're a bad father. You're a good father.
Yeah.
What you need to say? I'm a bad father. I don't care. We can talk about it. That's the best thing about it, because I can prove that I'm not. Because we talk about it.
But you're just one of the few that's smart. I'm just seeing the rest of them. They just kind of like, wow.
I mean, like, because we speaking very general. I just played real life with you. Can you tell me, wow? What is wow to you?
But
it's
bro,
just like, no, it's just how they think though, because most people think like that sometimes. I mean,
sir, 1 second, Gino. When I ask sir a question, I can't hear him if you talk. So, okay, so sir, what you saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you got dudes that do think like that, not like you. See, you read a few that I've seen that's honest.
What?
It's just, but like, no, what you're saying, I know they're all fucked up and everything. I'm just saying, dudes that think like that, they need some help. Like, you can't be spewing that stuff.
Think like
and
what?
You create, I'm just saying, when you create more Cynthia G like characters, they're gonna come attack regardless. That's why the gender war ain't over. That's an example.
We were on the guys talking ill about Black women, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, from a perspective, not just general, but I'm just saying, like, a collective. You have to understand, when you talk about women, they're gonna get that clout regardless. They don't care what we think or what we say, but we're gonna keep banging their heads regardless. It's just the concept has to change sometimes. You got to move forward.
Concept. What is it? What is that? What's the con? What is the concept, and what does it have to change to?
I mean, just to make ourselves better first, but but if you're a father of 2 girls, you can show them the right leadership, but you can do the best you can. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, but can't you do both at the same? Can't you say women ain't shit and teach your daughters not to be shit and become a better person?
Yeah. You can do that.
So if it's a man that all he does is say that these women ain't shit, which they are not, because a lot of them are feminists and they don't stop the laws from fucking men over, that basically proves they not shit. What is wrong with him saying that?
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with him saying it. I'm just saying, like, it's common.
Like that's another thing you don't hear the PhDs talk about either. They don't have any plans. They don't have anything. Yeah. They don't have. I mean, they're not going to get rid of the actual circumstances that led to them coming to fruition as an actual educated professional, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the way that kind of works. Because I went halfway through a doctorate. I went to my first residency, and I didn't like the shit at all. Period. And that's why I stopped going. But what I was doing at the time, I really didn't need no PhD anyway. But it's just that, look, educated people who are trying to solve problems, they do solve them at some point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to piggyback on what Men of Tomorrow just said, and then I'm gonna get to Aegon.
Aegon.
Yeah. Men of Tomorrow, the reason you can see these guys are quite disingenuous is that they come on the internet crying how, oh my God, the gynocracy is in power. But Negro, you're a smart guy. Why can't you get out there and organize some voting for your GOP so they can take over and so they can put you in power to put your foot back on the woman's neck?
I can tell you why that's not going to happen. Because they know how to play emotionally based people. Like emotionally based people don't think from a logical perspective. They want to be felt. They want to be heard. They don't want to be fixed. And if you stay in that shit for so long, you think that people who quote unquote feel your pain is actually helping you. No, that guy's actually talking down to you, and he don't want you to get past your pain because that shit is what led them to have power over you in the first place. This is why preachers, fake street niggas, this is why they come up with the image, because image means a lot to emotional people. Mm-hmm. Like if people were to think logical about, okay, who is this person? What is their background? What gives this person the right to speak to me this way or any other way? Because the actual problem would be solved before you even would ask the question. But if you're not actually able to talk or interact with the person who claims to be the leader, this is how you get into these fields to where things don't actually work right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's quite interesting. You said image, air quote image.
Yeah, he's wrong about that. It's just that's why I was saying my whole point. It ain't nothing against what Aegon said. I'm just saying you have guys like that in the space, and the other one in general that think like that.
And I'm about to help him understand where I was coming from, and I think you're probably coming from the same standpoint. Yeah. And it's interesting that he said he has a daughter.
Yeah.
What I meant to ask him is, because we've heard these discussions, is these guys, it looks like they're just sitting over there laboring pain
and negotiating
because they look up, they see, oh my God, look at this female. She's a PhD, she's a doctor. Look at this female.
And here's the thing, they'll be in their live streams like crazy arguing with them. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going on panel arguing with no female and acting crazy. I'm like, come on, man, chill.
No, it's just the way they be talking about these women got all these jobs. Yeah. These women got all these jobs.
Black Torch, I think your camera's on or something, because I don't see nothing but black or darkness in the background.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay.
hear you now.
I'll let you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
masculinity, put an actual quote in the chat. I want us to actually respond to it. Guys gaslight to try to sidetrack black men from comparing notes. I think that is very true. Very true. Bill Gino, what do you think about that quote by him?
Yes, that's what it is, man. I mean, they
I
don't, they
agree with
don't,
that.
they don't dive deep, into some of they're very binary in their train of thought, right? You know, and whenever they see somebody, whenever they see a woman or anything that has to do with female, and I feel like this is really fucked up on so many levels as black men because you know you as a law-abiding citizen, as a black law-abiding citizen, you wouldn't want some white people to look at you and be like, "Oh man, you just like Pookie in them."
I
No,
wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what they think. It doesn't matter what they think.
Yeah, and it's like we need to have like as much as I don't like redoing my content, I think we need to have smarter conversation than the dumb shit that's actually out there because by not talking at all, you give those people free reign to just come in with bullshit behind everybody that's there.
Exactly right. Yeah.
well, MOT, the real issue is, and this is what I see the real issue. You can't fix a problem unless you identify what the problem is. And every time we attempt to do that, they change the goalposts. They change it around.
they move.
And
That's
if you
exactly right, Taurus. Yes.
and if you look at the situation, um, I'm not gonna mention no names, but they basically told you their game plan to get you back on the plantation, doing what because these women need support. That's what it is. They don't care anything about us. They never did, and they never will. Because when I personally said we need to separate from them, the same person came back and said you can't separate from them. They're part of the community. And
Yeah.
I said, hell no.
They're part of the populace. Yeah.
I said, hell no. I said, and remember, a lot of these guys are former Pookies. Some of them are still Pookies. And just because you got a PhD don't mean that you're not a Pookie. I'm sorry. And just because you got a law degree don't mean that you're not a Pookie. And to come up with this, yeah, he actually told you what he's going to do. He told a certain person to get these guys reformed so they can take these women back. And that's to me crazy. It's
Yeah. It
actually
is
just
crazy.
actually said that.
I
That
mean, you know,
he-
it's the suicide mission from the second Mass Effect, man. That's what it is.
yeah, and if you look at it, you gotta be okay. I don't know about that, but if the gender war was over, I didn't see no surrender. I didn't see
Nope.
no the terms of surrender because when you surrender, there is no negotiating table. We give you the terms, and this is how it's gonna play. But I never seen none of this, and they said, "Oh, it's over." I said, "How? I hey, you start if the women started the war, it's not over until we say it's over. Period. You know, I just don't get it. I really don't. Maybe
And
and
lately, I've been hearing a lot about quote unquote healing. I do think that some of these guys they actually, and you know what? Look, I don't play. You know, I'm a veteran, and I'm a black man, and I understand mental health. So this is not anything for us to play and joke with at all. It's serious. Uh, but I do think deep down inside, right? You know, it would be nice if we had some um psychologists, psychiatry, psychs,
yeah,
PhD,
but the problem
MD.
with that, wait, I can tell you the problem with that. Who are you gonna go for this counseling to? The same people that's trying to push you back into the buzzsaw. That's the
No,
problem.
no, I'm just saying though, somebody, a person like that, because I'm not sure what's the overall on an average, all of the quote unquote PhDs here, what's
Most
the
of
group
them
of
are
study?
in the social sciences
Social science.
who are
Yeah,
trying to get us to
yeah.
that back to the plantation. You got to look
And
at it.
in social
Right.
science, and medical science,
No, they're not medical doctors. No, no, they're social
I know they're not.
workers. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, like social science, somebody who's in the medical field, who deal with mostly empirical evidence and things of that nature. Having
Well,
somebody like that in this field, in this sphere, that will do some good vlogs talking about healing, talking about sex,
wait. Time
trauma,
out,
and stuff like that.
time out. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, who are you talking about healing? Because first of all, like I said, most of the guys who left the community, they already know what's good and what's not good for them, and they remove themselves. And the ones who need to be healed and the ones who need counseling are the ones who still in it and and thinking that this is normal. That's the thing.
Right.
And they try to get you to go to counseling to stay in that environment. That's the
Yeah,
crazy thing I'm hearing.
yeah. That's why I
They
brought up
want you
mental health earlier.
they want you to stay in that environment and have justifications for staying in that environment. You
Exactly.
know,
Well, we can kind of tell a lot of these brothers, they do have some self-love issues. They do have some intimacy deficiency issues. And these things,
wait. I gotta disagree with that again. We don't need we don't need self-healing because most of us, oh, well, I'm speaking for myself, was never part of the community anyway. So therefore, what self-healing I need? I'm already
that's
out of
you,
the
that's you.
community. So
That-
I don't need no damn self-healing. I need them to leave me the hell alone. That's what I need them to do,
Yeah,
and stop. And you know, and
yeah,
when
but
I say that,
this is just where we at though. Towards it's just that people who are actually selling the idea that forgiveness solves everything are your enemy.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, it's like, look, there's an actual process here. There has to be a trial. There has to be, a sentencing. There has to be time served. If your ass get out, then you come back. Like there is
oh, oh,
no skipping to happily ever after and everybody gets along. Like that's the type of shit that they sell us. Yeah, nah, man.
yeah, so you're talking about we need
But
like a Nuremberg trials.
like Torch,
Negro Nuremberg, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going after you. I'm going after you. Oh.
Who you talking to? Me?
Yeah, I was gonna go after you because you was about to talk. I was gonna go after you.
Oh no. I was just saying that, I'm just kind of tired of the same old rhetoric. We need to help them out. You need to. We can't disassociate themselves from Pookie. I just put up that Joe Clark died. Joe
Yeah,
Clark was
Yeah, I heard
the
about that a couple days.
principal
Yeah.
of a school in Patterson, and he says his basic line was, "Nah, we ain't gotta, we don't have to forgive them. We don't have to deal with them. They're out." He made a line, a straight line, and says, "Listen, you on this side, and I'm on that side, and the never two shall meet." And so when we say these things, they look at us like we're crazy. I said, "No, there is no equivocation on this. They're on that side and we're on this side. Let's just keep it moving. You stay over there, I am over here."
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing, man. That's kind of aside from that. That dude still looked at younger than fucking
He
the girl who
did.
played him in the movie, man. Like the dude looked
Yeah,
young,
he
way
did.
younger than him.
Oh yeah, but come on, come on, come on. Listen, I'm not. See, you're gonna get me in trouble here. I'm gonna not do that tonight
All
because
right, okay.
then they're gonna send out hate mail for me.
All right.
But you know where I was gonna go with
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know where I was gonna go with this. But I'm just trying to tell you, listen. I think we all know the deal that we need to just wash our hands and separate completely. Don't even have any communication because they're talking nonsense. They're
Tori,
still talking nonsense. Yeah, go ahead.
bro. I think we're missing a piece when we say we need to separate. Look, you, MOT, and a few of us on here in the chat, like we do what we do with the people that we do what we do. It's just some shit we don't take parts of, right? I mean, we just come on this YouTube. A lot of these people they come on YouTube, they think like they're talking to the universe, whatnot. They just got a couple of people, and I'm not down. I'm not down. Play it, whatnot. Yeah, some people do have some good following, but I mean, you deal with the people that you deal with. You're not, on the weekend when you're off work, you're not around the corner hanging with Pookie and Ray Ray or whatnot. You're not hanging with Shaniqua, and you're not doing that kind of stuff. So, maybe I'm misunderstanding why.
No, what I'm meaning is that what I'm meaning is that okay, if you want to move the goalposts, if you want to make some progress, you can't have dissent. You can't have all
No, you
these.
cannot.
You can't have that. You need to be moving as a cohesive unit. Everybody's got to be on the same page, the same marching orders and things like this. And we can't have, in the middle of thing, I'm going to take this hill. No, I'm not going to take this hill. You go that way. Hell no, we'll never win. The only way, that's the problem. We got too many people telling us all these different circumstances, all that, and we know what's right or wrong. Come on, let's be honest. We know we got some dead weight, and the only way we're going to survive is to get rid of the dead weight. Let's be honest. Am I? If I'm wrong, I'll shut up. But I don't see any way around this.
No. I think you're definitely right. And one of the reason I said these guys need therapy, I wasn't speaking of as far as like us, me, and a few people on here. I'm just saying that a lot of people have some unsolved trauma because the hot cheerleader back in high school wasn't messing with them. These niggas are still on that.
Yep.
That's where I'm coming from. A lot of these dudes that talk and shit on Pookie and Ray Ray or whatnot. When you listen to some of their stuff, because there's a channel on here called Expose the Manosphere. It's ran. I just found out. I surprisingly I didn't know, but I think everybody probably know this by now. It's ran by a PhD. I forgot what's his name. The PhD that had beef. That wrote that paper. That had beef with what's his name? Everybody was talking about him in the manager.
No.
Yeah, we won't mention no names. Don't do that. Yeah.
No, that guy.
Can I go next?
No, yeah. One second. Like, I did comment on one of his posts, and then he did reveal himself. He said, "Wow, you didn't know that." So that's the only reason I'm bringing the name. But these dudes, man, got problems, and a lot of the times when you have some problem, and I'm just speaking. Let's say for me personally, right? And we all have some issues. We all every day we're trying to be better human beings day by day. But a lot of the time, you're so busy, you're so caught up with other shit, you don't see all of the flaws, all of the things you need to solve if you have not solved since high school, since childhood. Some of these dudes are traumatized, and sometimes a lot of them they don't know how these traumas back from middle school, high school. Their father probably hated them. The girl in high school wasn't fucking with them. All of that stuff on the inside of them. Their mothers did them dirty. A lot of them, they'll tell you, man, I've forgiven my mother. They have not gone through the full cycle of healing.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
The
We can hear
response
you.
that I have to that, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can progress as black men and also criticize the environment. When I
Oh,
hear
no doubt. Yeah.
when I hear black men talking about these guys are saying toxic words about black women and they don't give out details, all I hear is you want men to loosen the foot over their neck, these women's necks. We are a result of this environment being destroyed. I get it. If guys is all they're talking about, and we're having subjects about real estate, things that are progressive business wise, we have channels for that. But we also have channels to show what happened to these men. This didn't come out of nowhere. Because like we already had this is Gino, you're not the first guy that we ever say that these guys are crying. You too, guy below me, with the black statue. You're not the first. We heard this rhetoric from a character before you, and he flipped. He flipped and went with women.
All these niggas are just stellar fathers.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish. Go
Let him
ahead.
finish. Go
I
ahead.
have the rhetoric of a plant where basically you really love these women, and it's all cool when you wasn't getting the. It's all cool when you wasn't getting the woman that you wanted, but maybe, but you really didn't have it in you to basically be alone. So it finally hits you that I can't take this woman being talked about like shit. So you try to like ease it up, like, come on, brothers, what is y'all doing? No, you can get your money, you can go to other countries, and you can let that other brother rail on how he was destroyed by his mom.
So all of these brothers,
Wait,
Gon.
wait.
stellar,
Okay,
stellar,
go ahead.
right? So all of these brothers are stellar fathers, and those mothers you're talking about, those fathers that left them, right? Those fathers were stellar fathers. Those fathers that left them, men like them, that failed them,
Let me ask you a question.
allowed them over to trust
Let
them.
me ask you a question. If you fix the woman, would the problem be solved?
No, it will not be because you got sorry ass fathers, these fathers out there.
But if the women were fixed, they wouldn't pick sorry men.
See, you can take
It's a wait. Okay, it's a chicken and an egg question.
Hold on.
Not no culture.
Wait, hold on. Everybody, hold on. I went over this at the first beginning of the stream. I started off with the stream of how the actual culture warrior will be over. So the culture will be, the actual gender war will be over if none of these kids were going through these actual situations. If the women were actually depict decent dudes, which they're not. If the men were to just separate from these women, which they are not going to do. So everything that we're talking about, how to fix this actual situation, we're past the point to where even any of those things are not even able to happen at all. So it's just that even floating these possibilities is actually resetting the conversation itself, because we know that that's not going to happen, because these women have far past the point to where they can offer anything in the femininity department. This is why they're trying to learn it a la carte from somebody who's not even married. And for the men, they can learn to be actual productive in the environment, but they still got to be handed off to actual cultured women who can actually still be able to handle the environment that those men come from. There is one part of this equation that is completely done, and it's not the men for the most part. The men can still be productive at the end of their life. Women just all of a sudden can't be childbearing women at the end of their life, right? So it's like, there's no way we can keep handing this off or kicking this can down the road.
Let me ask you a question. I remember you were saying you hired a guy. You had a contract. By the way, I worked in contract. That's the field I worked in. This nice contract, and he ended up stealing. You make the story better than me. He ended up stealing. That guy, when you hired, maybe maybe you saw a sign, but I'll give you the opportunity to tell me. Did you notice he was a fuckboy?
No, man. Like, dude, like, here's the thing, man. Like, when you're on military installations, there's tons of stealable shit everywhere because they don't respect it. Like, the people in the military don't respect the environment. But if you introduce somebody into an environment where there's stealable shit at, you have to keep reminding them that, hey, man, you're on tape. I don't know what your values are as a person, and you may not have a criminal background, but your ass is on tape every second that your ass is in there. And because, you give them like individual IDs to get in the shit. So that way it won't be on the company, it'll be on the individual. So that way he gets to go to jail rather than I get to go to jail. So yeah. You don't know. You don't like dude. Anytime you're hiring somebody, whether they have a felony or a criminal back, dude, you don't know. You don't know what this motherfucker have done or gotten away with. You have no idea.
Thank you. So that's sort of surface what I was trying to say. And this is not excuse, and you guys can go ahead and call me a simp or you want to. But this is not to make an excuse and simp for women. But how many times you have probably heard that? Maybe you have sisters, maybe you have female cousins, right? Maybe your sister's boyfriend, when she met him, he was a smart dude, right? And then
No.
Well, I have to disagree with that. I'm sorry. No, they know immediately who they want, and this is something ingrained in them. There's no rocket science read that tells you that 53% of black males don't have no wife or children because they know the environment is toxic. Who are these women? And 78% of these women have children. Who are they having the children with? The same guys that they want. That's a non-starter. I'm sorry. No,
Yeah,
it's
but
done.
here's
Yeah, I
the
agree
thing
with
about
both of you.
what's going on
Yeah.
within an environment. They're actually picking those options to maintain their power within the environment. They're not picking those options because it's the best for them. They pick those options because they get to keep picking the same options without consequence. That's why they're picking those options in the first place. Like me, if I was an 8-year-old and I get to eat pudding from like 8 to 19, it's going to be a very hard idea to get me to eat Brussels sprouts at like 15. If I get to eat pudding at every meal because there was no real oversight within the environment, right? So yeah, so that's what that kind of is, and you have to understand that this thing is going to split up among a kind of cultural background.
yeah, and I understand what you guys just said, but again though, maybe I misunderstood what Bubba was saying. It seems like you're saying, well, women know, they should know, well,
Like
You didn't
Like,
understand.
they do know, and I'm telling you that it's a conscious decision to re-perpetuate your own power within the environment. Think about it. If I with a messed up credit score, every time I went to a lot, I got a $50,000, Mustang or even Corvette that I got for like $5,000. It's very clear what option that I'm going to make whenever I go to a place to get funding.
And
Let me go up the black. I'm going to Black Torch.
okay, and to further prove that they know what they're doing, who are the men that they most find attractive? These guys who are in jail, who just coming out of jail.
The Ray Rays, yeah.
But they're choosing people who don't have options on
Yeah.
purpose.
and I understand very clearly. You know why? Because I have a little sister, right?
Same here.
And she's 32, no kids, very successful, drive a Range Rover, got her own beauty salon. My mom is pretty well off too, so she gotta hook us up with the house, no mortgage type of situation, in South Florida. So my sister's dating choices, I don't like them. So trust me, what you guys look for my females making the wrong choices like that? I know it. I see it firsthand. But my sister's not a baby mama or none of that. So it doesn't. It may not feel. It may not fit that binary view that you guys may have. But again, I'm talking about. Look, let's say the sister got a master's degree. She's dating a nigga with a PhD, or who's a great guy. He's a stellar athlete and all that shit. He's damn near Jesus Christ. Then, like MOT said, when you hire these motherfuckers, you don't know their background, or you may know their background, but you don't really know.
I think you're conflating two things. No, I think you're conflating two things.
Maybe
Okay. One is the conscious choices that people make, and one are you telling so what MOT was talking about, they make conscious decisions to pick guys that they can control. That's what
Correct.
MOT was
Correct.
talking.
Easily
Yeah.
control.
Okay.
Because they're lazy. They're not going to go out of their way, go into an environment where they have to earn a guy, do all these things and all this kind of stuff. I mean, this is the environment that they've been cultured in since young. So they're not going to go to an environment where they have to be mega competitive to do all the stuff that they already want to do.
And
They just
that's
stay within the environment of those guys who actually do all the things that they are actually doing already.
now you
Yeah.
okay. Now you brought up your sister. Now your sister made her choices.
What, my sister? I never brought
No,
up.
not your sister. No, not you. The other
Oh,
guy.
all right.
No, MOT. Come on. No,
He talking
MOT.
about
I'm just trying to respond to what he said. Okay. Now your sister made options. You don't like them, but that's her options. She's an adult. She's 32. You said she's 32. She made her own options. She had she made her decisions. Now, but the problem is that most of the choices that these people are making are the options that they can control their environment. And once you can control your environment, you have now delegated all your responsibilities that saying that, oh, you can't say it's the government. No, you pick those responsibilities. See, what's the thing about when you have responsibility, it means a great deal, even though they try not to say that they're not responsible, but they are. They're responsible for the choices. They're responsible for the men. They're responsible for all this. But and to further point out what MOT is talking about, how come they kick out the educated ones out of the community, which have to be competitive? Why do they kick them out? Because one reason, because they have to compete and they know they can't.
what's going on, Game Changer?
Sure,
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, fam? So I want to point something out to y'all because I had a similar discussion on my show last night. At least part of it was about this. I don't think that they're on these pookies like they say they are. In fact, I don't think that they're on anybody at all whatsoever. The way I look at it is that the ultimate goal of these chicks is to get the quote unquote high value guy at a pookie price. And when we talk about no, honestly,
Wow.
it's
Wow.
Wait, let him finish. I want to hear this.
you know, they want to get the high value dude at the pookie price, just like MOT. You know, they want that $50,000 car at the $5,000 price. You know, with no credit. You know, I mean, in this scenario, Pookie would be the $5,000 car. You know, that's easy to get. You don't really need good credit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They want, you know, so basically what they're doing is they're trying to market or saying the market is you're lame. We don't want you. You know, Pookie is the man. That's what they're trying to do. But when you look at reality, if what they said was true, you would always see Pookie with the best of the best of the best of black women, and you never, ever, ever do. He's always walking 2.5 feet to the right behind some fat ass bitch holding her purse. You never actually see him with the baddest of the bad of the bad, do you?
On that point.
Wait. Are you finished? Because I can respond to that.
Go ahead.
chicks.
Yeah, okay, game changer. I do see them with these guys. I do see them. And that's the thing. Wait. I'm responding to you. I do see them. And the problem is you don't see them you see them in their 20s with these guys, but when they get to their 30s and 40s, no, I agree with you. Then they looking for that sucker to come up and take them. But I'm sorry. In their 20s and their teens, that's all. Pookie is running rampant. I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
he's running
okay,
rampant.
so don't get me wrong. There's always going to be a bad boy appeal. I do see like more athletes and just generally handsome dudes. They're always going to be more successful than both Pookie or anything. But here's what I mean by this. I'm gonna do a screen share because I did this last night, and anybody could do this. Anybody could do this test. MOT, if you would indulge me, please.
I don't see you sharing yet, or unless it's at the bottom.
Well, I can just tell you one thing while you're attempting to share.
Well,
I've seen lawyers graduated from Ivy League schools, and
Yeah.
who are they dating?
Fucking
Pookies.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, the same way I see lawyers driving $5,000 cars. I mean, it's possible, but it's not commonplace.
I think,
Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. If you'll indulge me, Aegon, for a second. When I type in the words attractive black couples, just those three words, not Pookie, not educated, not anything, what happens is nothing but non-Pookies come up. Every time you see an attractive black couple, it's something like this Will Jada, this guy right here.
Other problem with this whole conversation.
So okay, just bear with me, please. You don't really see Pookie with attractive women like that. Now, I know in your anecdotal personal life, that may be the case, but fellas, I'm not seeing it. I mean, if what these women were saying was true, then you would never see Pookie scraping from the bottom of the barrel. And we always see Pookie scraping from the bottom of the barrel, always.
Bro, you need to take a trip to, like, probably Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, where when you pull up at the whole hospital, you go see your cousin that's sick, and there's a dude sitting on Mercedes Benz waiting for his badass nurse to come out to get off work, driving her car.
Okay. Something like that would happen likely if she was attractive, or excuse me, if he was attractive, meaning that he would have got it like that no matter what. And don't get me wrong, there are some outliers where that would happen, but that would be the exception that proves the rule.
I give an example of why we're having such a hard time with this with the statement, because we seen it's not only anecdotal, we seen it in the news, we seen it everywhere. Look at that guy, what they call him, Prison Bay. He had women riding him. He's going out now with a billionaire chick, and then you got these guys in prison who got all these women writing them. They got more women than they can shake a stick at. So I don't want these women that they're attracted to, but this is the environment, and that's the problem. When we tell you the environment is screwed, it is.
That's not the problem. Okay. I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. If I looked like Prison Bay, then I would get it like that too. Period. If MOT, and this is not a shot at your looks, I just shot mine down. If any of us look like that, we would get it like that too. Let's not use extreme outliers.
Okay. Well, I don't have to use extreme outliers. Okay. I can look at the chick who just lost her lottery money to a regular looking dude, and she paid all his bills, and he drove her into bankruptcy. I'm sorry. It's the community is the community, and for you to say that it's not that problem, it is that problem.
Thank you.
And I see it every wait. And when school was back I'm still in school, and I see it every day when class was in. I seen who these women are going out with.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry. I'm living in a different reality.
Yeah,
I see it every day.
yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't see how you can say that this is change. It's
yeah,
only after they get to a certain age that they move from of being these pookies and look for a sucker to take care of them.
yeah. And you know, Black Torch, everything you said is spot on. And this is why everything I was saying earlier may have sound, you know, crazy, back and forth, a bit abstract. That's because when we're having this conversation, and this is not the first time when this spooky and railway kind of stuff kind of get brought up, that these line of conversations have happened. We cannot approach this from a binary perspective, and this is where we get lost because we're trying to say this right here is black, this right here is white. It's not like that. None of it is like that, bro. None of it is like that.
Yes, it is. I disagree with that. It is.
Can I have my turn?
Yeah,
Let
go
me
ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
let me tell you something. Go ahead, Aegon.
Yo, we even if all the men here got the women that they wanted, we would still be under these women's thumb. It's the laws and how they act. What I'm saying is how they act is basically they are feminists. All of them. All of them are feminists, even if you're married to them, even if they can flip on you and you can't do anything about it. Who she's picking and shit like that. I know we don't like it, but if she picked,
No, that's not. Oh, no. Time out. No, that's not what we're saying.
that's
We're not saying who she's picking. We're saying the environment is the way it is. It's because of their poor choices. That's what we're saying.
no,
And
no, no, no. But that's going to happen regardless. Because the thing is that in the '60s we still had the same feminism that produced this. So if all these women came back to the table, started dating and marrying black men at high clips, it's just going to happen in another 60 years because these laws are against you.
okay, so
And
answer me. Answer.
Hold on.
coming back to the table. Coming back to the table.
Wait.
We are culturally feminists. We are culturally feminist. That's why I said the PhDs didn't do their job because they should have had megaphones saying black men stop fucking with these women.
Can I ask you one question? Okay, if you're saying that we're
Coming back to the table.
feminists, okay. Well, let me ask you something. Then why is it that every other group here that's not black, women can get it correct and our women can't? If
Because we had a
wait. If they're feminists, because you said they're in the same environment as we are, they're under the same laws as we are, then why is it that they can get it correct and we can't?
because our culture stemmed from slavery. Our
See,
culture stemmed from stop, hold on. Our culture stems from slavery. So from that when you come from that culture, it never got corrected. It never got corrected. It just was hidden because we basically had to work together. But then as soon as we got time to have freedom, we threw Americans and we blew in the wind. Everybody else is a rodent too, but they have a culture to fight that. What I'm
Hence the
saying is
healing
that
part I was just talking about.
stop. We have HBCUs to fix black problems because black problems are different than everybody else's problems. But the PhDs do not do that. That's what I'm
We
trying
didn't
to
have
say.
time to heal.
no, let Aegon finish. Go ahead.
I'm done.
No, I'm just I see. I think we're talking cross at each other. All I'm just trying to say is that I agree with you. You never had a culture. So remember, this culture was placed upon us. It's not something that it was developed and we develop it from thousands of years or hundreds of years. This is something that was placed on us. So, and we always had somebody telling us who we had to be with, and we had no choice. But now that choice, we have a choice, and and the other groups are still intact. You don't have to go with Anglo-European or what's the name. There's other groups that you can go with, but I refuse to take the stand that it's the culture, because everywhere around us we can see it's being obliterated, and if you can't see it, it's like we're standing in the middle of wildfire and we're doing nothing about it. And I'm not going to stand in the middle of wildfire. I'm getting out of the fire and let the thing burn. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wish when we talk about some of these issues, we would approach it from a generalization standpoint, because there are some issues, and again, though maybe I'm caping for people, but I do think in the huge percentage that you guys think that are like all these people act a certain way, there might be a good portion of these people, because some of us have friends and family members that probably marry a guy that you're like, yes, he's a great guy, and then he turned out to be a fuck boy. So was that still your best friend, your cousin, your auntie, your sister? Was that still her fault?
Okay, I can answer that.
Yes.
There is a self-correcting mechanism in. First of all, if a dude's fucked up, there's laws to correct him. He's got to pay for all his things. He got a kid out of wedlock, he got to pay for that. He does something crazy, he got to pay for that. Who does not have to pay for anything that they do? And
So,
I'm sorry, it does sound like you're caping. I'm sorry, I have to say it.
so you
I'm
saying
sorry.
because he may have to, I guess, pay for child support, maybe alimony if they were married and things of that nature. So that washed him away of his sin. But that woman right there, that's his fault. That's her fault that her marriage didn't work.
No, I didn't understand the correlation there, but I'm just trying to tell you is that
Marriage from that.
yeah, and um all I know is that you can't have
Nice
you
try.
can't say that one guy is doing everything. You keep coming back to the guys, and I'm sorry. It's we are the ones that have been kicked out. So what are you talking about? There is no guys are doing this, because we're not the ones who are doing most of the stuff.
Yo, can I ask him a question real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bell, who's
Yeah.
who's the female version of you?
What you mean, female version of me?
Who talks your points but opposite to women?
I understand. I don't even understand what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the woman who tells women to stop complaining about men?
I don't know. I guess perhaps there may be some people. There may be very few people on YouTube that because I think this is where this conversation where the question is coming. There may be very few women on here that does that, but that's still
Are there more women than men?
no.
What? Are there more women
I
than
can't
men?
agree with that.
You're talking about are there more women than men in the world?
Yes.
Of course.
So shouldn't, by the numbers, women should be complaining? There should be a larger group of women complaining about men.
I'll help you out. There is none. That's the answer he's trying to get for you to realize. See, when you came up here, and this is the thing. All right, I don't know you, and you seem like to be a great person, but you're caping, man. I have to call it what it is. You're caping for somebody and a group that doesn't cape for you. That's the problem.
I'm simply a guy that love accountability, and I do it to a fault even to
You sound
myself.
just like him, dog. You sound just like him. You sound just like him. Keep going. You sound just like him. Come on, keep going. I mean, shout out to Baltimore. You sound just like him.
Who's that?
Okay.
No, it's about
No, we no names. No names.
the nerve
No
of these
names.
niggas?
I know he's talking about. No
The
names.
nerve
No
of these
names.
niggas?
No names. What we're trying, because this is MOT show, and I'm just telling you, caping is not allowed. I'm sorry, it's not. We're not going to allow you to do it, and we're going to.
Okay. So it is MOT show, and he's the one that can tell us that. And to answer Zero's question towards the brother, I would have to say Shahrazad Ali. I mean, though there are a few Let's not ignore the ones who are, speaking on behalf of the brothers.
Right, but that was 30 years ago. She's the only one.
Yeah,
That
no,
was 30
it
years
was.
ago.
And it's
No,
more-
no,
it's more
granted,
educated.
that was some time ago. And however, they do exist. They've been silent since. Now, and that's why I celebrate Pick Me so much on my channel. Now, and it's not really caping or anything like that to say that, if you want to recreate the community, or do whatever with it, you're going to need cooperative women in order to do that. So, to show women that it is beneficial for them to cooperate, and show men that cooperative women exist, and you can build with them, is not by any means a detriment to Black men.
I believe it is, because you know why it is? Because all you're doing is repackaging the same old thing into a new box and and putting a pretty little bow on it.
What
They
is the
have not changed.
So-
They have not changed not one scintilla.
Okay, so collectively, we're saying that they should change, and when they do, they should know that that they have options available if and when they do. I mean, for us to sit here and say that, I don't care if you change, if you improve, I'm still going to treat you like crap because of what your grandma did, is not going to affect any positive change whatsoever.
No. I don't think it's about treating you like crap. I think it's about holding you to a standard worse than your grandma, because everything is that basically, if basically with all the information that, let's say, a 14-year-old would take in from this space, he basically would have to hold a mental dagger to his girl's neck, basically like on the scrutiny that he puts on her, because she could ruin his life. What men don't tell what men don't tell other men to do, and and that's what this space is for. Because the laws are against you, and if she flips, you're done. You don't have that many chances as a man.
No, I understand that. I mean, I understand that there's an extraordinary.
You have to basically fight your sexual imperative to save your life.
So crap. Hold on.
I had a question for Game Changer. You said if we don't tell them what. Hello?
I think he's on the phone.
No, okay. Oh, okay, he's on the phone. No, I just don't understand. If we don't, if you don't push a person to, like I said, I'm done with trying to make them change. I think it's irrelevant. I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I think we need to just move on and
just walk away.
and because when you talk about if they want to change, then we got to give them all this rah cheerleading shit, and for what? They're not going to change. They already told you they're not going to change.
Okay.
Like Freshman, can I ask you a question? Speaking earlier, somebody said bringing it back to the table. I think I may have an idea, overgeneral idea, what that means. Can somebody expound on that for me? Is it like bringing them back to the table? Is it meaning that stripping them of their bachelor's degree, stripping them of their master's degree, so they don't have no job, so they can come back?
Wait, man, we're not going that far.
No. See, what he's done now is gone to the extreme to try to. No, we're not saying any of that. What we're saying, you live your life, let them live their life, and never the two shall meet. That's what we're saying. All this other extraneous things about stripping their degrees and all that. No, they got their degrees. Let them have the degrees. Let them do what they.
Okay. Well, here's
wait. To answer your point, you don't negotiate with terrorists. You don't negotiate. Period.
That's right.
It's the end of period.
Yeah, and you don't go to war with citizens. But listen. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay,
No.
okay.
I can't get away with that one.
Your solution is, you do you and I do me. My solution is I do me, you get me a sandwich, and you do me. Like, that is my solution. And any woman who's willing to capitulate is welcome to do so.
Okay, so it's for you is you feel that if she's gets you do what you want to do for that particular time, that then she's on your team. And I'm telling you is that
She's on my team for as long
wait,
as
wait.
she's willing to do as I please. Yes.
Will you marry her? Will you marry her?
I don't know. That's subjective, depending on how long, depending on how long she does as I please.
So I didn't ask the right way. Will you marry her under the law and have kids with her?
Well, in order to have kids, I have to do so with a woman. So would I marry her under the law? I don't know. That is the question. I don't know.
But that's the crux of the problem.
That is the crux of the problem. However, it's not really a function of her behavior. It's a function of modern law.
No, but the problem is that the gender dynamics are out of whack because we treat women as equals.
I don't. Well, I mean, what I'm saying, yeah, the law treats them as equal.
And we do. So
however, if a woman, even though a woman can't legally renounce her modern rights, if she were to do so with me, then I will behave accordingly.
That is never going to happen because
it has happened several times.
No, it has not. Let me explain. You have not married a woman. Because a woman could anytime she can call the police on you, she could do all these things. She has more rights than you. There's a thing called the Duluth model. That if a woman calls the cops on you, you going to jail. She could be the aggressor, but you're going to jail. That's the aggressor because that's how the system works. They have more laws, and they have a ton of laws against you, against all males. So they are more the Lord's more in their favor than anything else. So we're not equal. Biologically, we're not equal, and legally we're not equal. It's a fact.
If she renounces her equality and submits to my need for sandwiches, then
how does a woman?
Can you explain your needs, please?
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish. I want to hear.
I am finished.
How does a woman renounce her equality? How does she do that?
Yeah, that was where I was going with that one. Go ahead.
By submitting to me and getting me a sandwich?
No, but see, that's a sandwich is a temporary instance. What you wait, game changer.
In a lifetime is a series of temporary instances, sir.
Okay. I got your. I got your metaphor.
It's her life to my belly and my penis. Then yes, I will reciprocate accordingly.
Right, but you know that at any time. At any time, wait. Let me finish. At any time, you know that she can regain those rights that you call that she therefore renounces. Because when you give up for example, if you're an American, you renounce your citizenship, you don't get it back. You don't get it back. So when you're talking about if she does what you say and she renounces her woman, she still has it. She has it in her back pocket. Anytime she can pull it out and use it against you.
If she pulls it out, if I ask for a sandwich and she gives me squash soup, then guess what? I renounce her. That's the thing. The relationship is contingent on her behavior.
Your bank account.
A game changer. Do you have sister, mother, cousin, female in your family?
All of the above.
Are they educated or just low working class wage people?
Most of them are educated.
Okay. Wait.
Oh.
Do you want to see those cousin sisters submitting like the way you want them to get submitted to you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And a game changer.
Hold on, brother. Why would you even ask that? Do I want my cousin to get a sandwich? Absolutely. Do I want my mama to get a sandwich? Absolutely. Did I not watch my grandmas and aunties get sandwiches and gumbo my whole damn life? Yes, I do. What is wrong with you? There's something so undignified about getting a man a sandwich. These women are happy getting sandwiches. There are empty vaginas right now with a bunch of cats and nobody to get a sandwich to. And they pissed at the world and they pissed at me.
Hey,
now you see why. Wait.
Oh man! All these are all around. What zero do we need?
You
Time
don't
out,
want
time
to
out,
say it.
time out. Now you see why we said that it sounded like he was caping, because he's putting in these conditions that we are not. You came up with a point and you said these are your rules and this is based on your on your history. That's what you want to see.
Yes, yes.
He's telling you this is why I said he was caping. Now you see why.
Bro.
Okay.
Bro.
Well, yeah,
He
that
said, he
that,
said
that question
cinnamon.
kind of
He
that
said
question's out
cinnamon.
there.
Aegon. You
Aegon,
got a daughter.
It's,
Aegon.
it's, it's Aegon. It's Aegon.
Aegon, you have a daughter. You want your daughter to be giving senators away, or will you dream or put your daughter, tell your daughter, work hard in school. You want to become a medical doctor. Work hard in school. You can become that. Or are you preparing your daughter to submit and give senators out?
Like I said in the beginning, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. She can do both.
My answer is yes. My answer is yes. I would rather see my daughter get a doctor a sandwich than be a doctor herself. Yes, she's more valuable to the world and society getting a doctor a sandwich than becoming a doctor herself. Absolutely.
And I have a question for, I guess, the guy who was talking. Do you think what is the most important job that a woman can do? Do you think becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a scientist, or becoming a mother to her children?
I guess you must be talking to me.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
to you.
Okay. In order to answer that question, I have to kind of preface it based on what Game Changer just said earlier.
No, I'm asking you. Don't ask, but I'm asking you. I asked you a direct question. I said, what do you think is the most important job a woman could do?
Being a respectable woman, being a good mother, being a good husband. I mean, a good mother, a good wife.
Okay, so that answered what Game Changer was trying to tell you. The number one job, the natural and thing for species to survive is what? Reproduce, help the offspring, the new offspring survive in a new life. This getting a job, this getting this education, it's secondary. It's thirdary. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to just explain to you why people are just not seeing your point of view. I'm sorry, but we're not, because we got plenty of women out here with master's degrees and PhDs, and as Game Changer said, they're sitting at home with the cats and crying over their Chardonnay and drinking these bottles of wine. But
Mhm.
it's it's not what's the community needs.
Yeah, you know what? Earlier, I made a point to criticize the people, some of the smart brothers that talk about issues in the abstract, quote unquote, abstract, esoteric ways. You know what? I deeply want to apologize to these brothers because I realize perhaps I'm as much as an esoteric and abstract brother because I don't like to solve problem on the simplistic approach. We're acting as if society never changed. We're acting like in 1915, black men were just walking around all free like this. Nothing happened. We're acting. Some of you are acting like, oh, your grandmother or your mother or sister, older sisters, never told you about stories of how your father that had that job, how your father was mistreating her, right? And she couldn't leave that relationship. She was getting beating every night. We
I'm sorry.
like none of that ever happened.
No. You're not going to start with that nonsense
She should
on
have
this.
vetted.
No,
She should have vetted.
n-
She wasn't gonna
no.
get knocked out. She should have vetted.
I'm sorry. No. You're not going to bring up this whole female feminist tropes that black men were abusing all these women. No, I'm not. I'm
That's
not.
what I'm saying. That's
I'm
not what
sorry.
I'm
I'm not. I'm
saying.
not going with
That's
that.
not what you're generalizing. What I'm saying is,
You just generalized. That's what you just did. That's
okay.
what you just
Wait,
did.
wait, 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 wait. Let me
And
ask.
you try to couch it in a way
No,
that
no,
it
no, no, no,
doesn't
no,
sound like. No, yes,
no,
you
no,
did.
no. I'm not generalizing.
Am I? Anybody on the panel?
Bro,
What did he just do?
I've been speaking against generalization this whole time. Listen, bro. Have you ever heard any story from any person that they were getting abused, but they couldn't leave because they didn't have money?
The community was better with them beatdowns.
Yo, don't.
For one, that is very
What?
true. And for two, I mean, like, how long did it take her to get the sandwich? Listen, but no, I mean, all jokes aside, we haven't stopped the beating under this new regime, have we? I mean, has the ass
No, we
whooping
haven't.
stopped? So obviously, we created a solution to a problem that still exists, and now new problems exist. So now the problem is with the solution being feminism. I mean, we found out that the ass whoopings didn't stop. That feminism wasn't the solution to the ass whoopings. It was just the beginning of a new set of problems. Period. So
I agree with that.
So the solution to the problem that exists now is that, yes, the law gives you these powers. You renounce those powers, woman, and you get this penis. Do so, and you will be rewarded. Do so not, cat lady.
I don't know what to say after that one.
I'm out on that one.
Game changer.
You were on the Black Brain Trust earlier, right?
Who, me?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you're talking to me. Talking to me.
Oh yeah, I was with Accomplice. We had a similar conversation.
That was you. And you remember the point of discussion, one of the, because I didn't listen to the whole stream. You guys were talking about, some of these issues. Imagine talking about, these serious issues, but these guys, they want to be entertained. They want to be entertained.
Yeah, entertainment. Yeah. I discussed that on the Brain Trust.
Exactly.
And
that's the
what it is, and what it is, the arguments have to be, a little different. But I agree with the brothers. Like sometimes, we know the other side, the other species, like say, look, they got laws against us, but there's a way to work around it. But it ain't gonna be easy. It's still a war,
Explain to me how you work around these laws, because I've been hearing guys trying to tip-tap around these laws. Explain to me how you do that.
I mean, for one, you can't change them all for one, because I figure out one way to do it is if you let it collapse, but they ain't gonna let that happen. So
no, that's not what you said. You said there's a way to go around these laws.
I'm just saying certain laws can be changed, but it depends on if we agree to it or not. Because most men ain't going for it anyway. So, because at this point,
you're killing your own argument. Come on.
No, you said that there's ways around it. There's no ways around it. Okay, give me two ways around these laws, and I'll leave it alone.
Okay. One, I don't think we can change feminism, but we can. I can say this: if we choose no equality, that can work. But but that's one way.
What is no equality?
Thank you.
I would say I wouldn't try to get rid of child support. That's one. But that's gonna be a tall task. But that's one way. That's one way. That's one way. If an honest, real way.
Who's gonna get rid of child?
Wait. I let him
I'm
finish.
I'm just saying, if that would have happened, I'm just saying it ain't gonna happen. But that's one way. And the other way is the system has to change.
Stop. That's not a way. That's not a way, because you just said it's not.
That's what we got to let him get his two off, and then we can.
He doesn't have two. He has none, because he.
I know.
No. That's one point. No, that's one point. Listen. That's one point.
No, it's not.
The other. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're doing the same thing they're doing. You're doing the same thing they're doing. See, the second point. I'm saying it won't change. I agree with y'all. But the problem is, what's the second point I was about to make? I was trying to make something, trying to make sense here.
I'll
I
repeat the
did.
question for you. You said
Okay.
that there's ways around the law, and you mentioned one way is
No, he
child
didn't.
support. Wait, I'm just
That's one
paraphrasing
way.
what he said.
That's the brutal,
Okay,
honest way to do it. But in my viewpoint, it won't happen. So
okay.
that's just one way.
That's
And the
not
second way,
Wait,
and
let
then
him finish.
and the second way, the system has to change or collapse, or something dramatic is going to happen. But I don't think that's going to
And then the angel's gonna come out of
possibly.
heaven. Come on, man. What are you
Let him finish.
No,
Let him.
no, 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 no,
You
no,
get
no, no, no,
magical up
Okay,
here.
okay.
no, no, no,
All
no.
right, all right. Let me respond since I asked the question. Okay, the reason why people are saying what you're saying is not a real, because to go around the laws still
He said
exist,
it wasn't
and you
real.
go
He said it wasn't real.
wait. I'll handle this one. For you to go around the law still exists. What you're talking about is removing the laws, which they never going to happen. So your answer, you're agreeing with us that there's no way around this. There is no way around this. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
that's
I
what
get
I'm
what
trying to tell you. There is no
you're.
way around this.
But
So
that's just like it's just like a hypothetical. I was answering his question. I said, yeah, that's one way, but as a collective, we
but
all
that's
have to
not a
do it.
way.
Remember,
That's what we're trying to tell you. How is to go around the law? That means the law is still there. You
yeah,
just found another way around it. Removing the law is not the same thing. You don't. I don't see how you don't get that. It's not the same thing. You
well,
gotta. All I'm trying to tell you is that it's done. The laws are never going to change because the women make up the majority of the population, and they're not going to change the laws that they're benefiting them. And they have that aces in their pocket. They can use it at any time to whop you in the head and take your money and put you back into place.
But
Can
So
you
I'm
give us a
sorry.
hypothetical?
I
Can you
get
give us a
that. See,
hypothetical?
I
How you would like to
understand that
do
they
it?
got an ace in their pocket, but I got a penis in mine. And, and, and if they play their ace, they lose their penis. Like that's how that works.
Um, you have never a game changer. See, I don't know. I'm older than you, so I've seen things where guys came home and they were met at their homes by the sheriff, and they were told they can't come into their own homes, and they said, "What did happen? Oh, your wife put a restraining order against you. You can't see your kids,
Mhm.
and you got to find a place to live. And you got 5 minutes to pack up whatever you can. That's if you're lucky."
Mhm.
And to get out of the house, and when you go to the bank account, she's withdrawing all the money, does all these things to you, and then you're telling me that withdrawing the penis from her is the ultimate thing? No,
Now, okay,
I'm sorry.
that's a good point. Okay, so that happens from time to time, right? Why don't
From time to time, did you
Yeah,
just
from
say?
time to time. So, out of the 300 plus million people in this country, that happens from time to time. In a major city, that something like that happen 100 times a year out of the hundreds of thousands that live there. Yes, it happens from time to time. Let's talk about all the other 99.9% of the time that it doesn't happen. And you want to know why it doesn't happen? Penis. And this isn't some alpha your way through it. A woman has a right every time.
Hold on.
Wait, let him finish.
I gotta go soon. I want
You
to.
just be alpha your way through it?
No, I'm not saying that you're just gonna fuck your way out of the law system. That's not what I'm saying.
You said penis.
Huh?
But you said penis.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to my point, please. Let me get to my point, please. I'm saying that there is a reason that is the exception and not the norm. There's a reason why women aren't doing this every time you leave the toilet seat up. There is a reason for that. Now, are the majority of women fucked up or, just drunk with power? Absolutely. Is this a horrible condition for relationships to exist in? Absolutely. However, and do they have to surrender to our penis? Absolutely not. However, it's out there. It's out there. The penis is out there. These are my terms and conditions of surrender. Period.
Okay.
And
Question for you.
take it or not. Take
Okay,
it or not.
question for you. Do you know the percentage of black divorces in America?
All of them. It doesn't.
No, that's not a question. No, come on, James. I'm asking you a real question. Do you know the percentage of divorces for black people in America?
No, it's far too much. I'm sure though.
No, it's 80%.
Okay.
Do you know that
Lord.
80%?
Come on.
Do you know that 80%? Huh?
That high?
Yeah, that high. It's 50% for the normal population. For us, it's 80%. Do you know who initiates the most of the divorces in our community?
Oh,
Yeah, the women.
Right. And guess what number that is? 80%.
No, listen, I get that it's high.
No, you don't get. See,
No, I do.
wait.
I understand.
Wait. I understand what you're saying, but listen to the logic. I'm trying to make a point here.
I gotta go.
If 80% of the divorces are in our community, and 80% of them are filed by women, that penis thing comes back to the 80-20 rule again. You're not getting. That's my point. The 80-20 rule. You know what the 80-20 rule is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean,
Now,
listen. Fellas, because I gotta go. If a woman is gonna get you a sandwich and suck your penis, then allow her to. Period. Those are my closing thoughts. I'm not gonna get
all
it.
right.
I'm not gonna
All
get
right,
it.
game changer. I'll see you
All
later,
right,
man.
game
I like sandwiches. I like penis stuff.
But we cannot be discussing issues that we say impact us, whether you've lived the plantation, you've cut them off or whatever. We cannot be talking about issues that impact us or our people and be doing it in such joking, simplistic manner. And this is exactly why I said I wish there were some real professionals, not these grifting PhDs, real professionals. I actually, there's a black lady out of Atlanta. She's a psych. She has a YouTube page, right? But she doesn't do streaming all that stuff because they're highly professional. Any doctors you see on here, real medical doctors, they're doing presentation on corona, on any disease, they do that shit real professional. They're not with all the fuck shit. But I wish
That's corona. That's a problem that could be solved.
Yeah, listen, no. Listen. I wish there were some very educated, professional people, whether it's psychologists, or doctors, or whatever, that will come to this space on a neutral standpoint, not to grift, and that would be putting a lot of information.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Like Adele, I understand that if Optimus Prime and Megatron join forces, it would be the greatest shit on the planet. But that's just not where the fuck we are right now, man.
Yeah.
It's like Bella with the witch, then Sir Abaduhu. He y'all both in fantasy world.
All right, man. Well, all
right, whatever.
I don't want to fall asleep on this panel, so we got the last words, so that way we can get.
Again, MOT. Thanks again. I'm sorry I disrupted.
No. It's just fine. It's just that I'm up this time and notice myself falling asleep because I'm not at home, but I'm in a place that's easily fall the fuck asleep.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I had a good time.
Peace.
Later.
I do too. Yeah.
All right. Any last words? Damn, man. Everybody just dropping the fuck out.
I was on the brain trust stream, and we was talking about something similar to this. I'm like, it was crazy. It was like what, 4 hours? I mean, I had to come on this one though.
It's complex design.
Yeah, and I had to come on this one, like you said, like we got to cut these dudes off. I mean, talking about the same old stuff, like I see here in this space. But yeah, Gino, to answer your question, you ever heard of Dr. Phoenix? He be on the Brain Trust talking about the medical and COVID stuff.
Yeah, and
he's the only one that's be talking about it.
Yeah, and he's probably doing it on the more neutral, not grifting or trolling or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wish there were some people.
He's a good recommendation. That's
like some experts in psychology that will, again, those people don't have time for none of that fuck shit. But I'm talking about a real, actual black man who's an expert in psychology who will come and break down, because one of the main thing is see, even whenever I get on panels, like people will always get pissed with me because
You're ignorant.
I
That's
hate simplistic approach. I hate simplistic approach. I'm not talking about
What the man?
I'm not Donald Trump. I hate oversimplify. I hate when people oversimplify situation. Some things are a whole lot more complex, and I wish that we had some new YouTubers or some YouTubers on here that will be able to dive into it, because there are some guys. I watch a lot of atheist channels, whatnot. You got some of these white boys from England, whatnot, and they seem to be very educated, right? They went to Oxford and shit like that. When they talk about like free will and they're breaking down all that shit for you, they go deep. I wish we had some real
We
intellect.
are talking about black people in the black space of YouTube, Bellagio.
No.
The only people talking about intellectual stuff is Black Brain Trust. You gotta go listen to them more. They've been
for real,
covering this
man.
stuff for years, man.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
I'm talking about having people that are like very knowledgeable about complex issues and they can break it down.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever read a book on the Black family?
I will say no, but I've researched much.
How do you research without reading books about it?
You got articles.
What articles have you read about the Black family?
I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
So you want people to break down things about the Black family, but you haven't read any books about it. When there has been there's been dozens of books read about it, especially from slavery on up. But you have no information from those books that you should have read, but you come to YouTube wanting to hear it. Do you see the problem here? Do you see the problem here?
No. Listen to that. I think you misunderstood what I was saying.
No, I didn't. I heard everything.
It's not a me problem. I'm not one of these guys walking around here looking for all angry because my high school girlfriend the girl that I crushed on high school rejected me. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying some of the ways these guys discuss these subjects, they discuss it from a very oversimplistic approach.
Man, Bellagio, man, this is supposed to be like the closing arguments, bro. Like the thank you, MOT, for letting me on, man. You guys,
I'm sorry.
I quit. Oh.
What the fuck just happened?
Oh, he's
MOT.
We're good, man. We're
good.
I swear to God, man. We're good, man.
Yeah.
All right, Sir Obadiah.
Just I want you to thank you for letting me have me on. Just this nice, back and forth, discussion, and yeah, man, good stream. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man. Like y'all realize, man, I'm off 3 months a year, and this is kind of where I do a lot of my live streams. And as soon as I get my hair cut, I'm gonna fucking get. And not look like a Taliban field commander. I'm gonna fucking come on. I'm gonna cam up and shit. So y'all motherfuckers stay tuned, man. All right, Egon, man. You got anything else?
Thank you, MLT, for letting me come on. To the title of the video, we have to stop lying about how the gender war is over.
Yeah, for real.
It's not over.
Yeah, and I think that this panel has exemplified that guys on here do that, like Sir Abba and Gino did. Like, really prove the opposite.
David. I'm kidding.
Like, I'm not gonna mention nobody now on the stream, but y'all, you guys are great case studies. You really
man,
were.
You niggas on the stream. What the? All right, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, my intentions are good, man. Y'all just misunderstand me.
No, No, they're not. Stop lying. Stop lying. We
Stop
don't
lying.
stop saying that is around.
I get it. I need to bash black women. That's all.
No.
Yeah, man. Like, you need to get like a bigger club, dude. Like you need like some spikes, some nails out of that shit, man. Like you got like a little ass stick, man. Like you ain't even nowhere close to bashing black women, man.
No. You don't, MOT. You don't. We were talking about these guys that be talking about these issues and they do it from a very oversimplistic way when there are some really, really complex things that have happened in the last 50 years that these guys seem to forget.
You say complex, but you read no book. You read no book. You know about.
What's that you said? I can't hear you. Everybody laughing. Everybody crying, laughing.
What is this? How do you know? How do you fiend for complexities but read no books?
Oh no, sir. I see what you're trying to do, but that's not. And I'm not about to go down that rabbit hole with you, man. I'm good on that. That does not mean.
You good on knowledge, right? You good on knowledge, right?
That does not mean.
Wait, hold on. I did not say that. That is not what I. When did I?
You said that. You said that. Now you ever?
I said that. Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't me.
No. I see. He must be a. I would not
Oh,
name him.
no.
He must be
No, I didn't say that.
You are a student. You are the student of the teacher. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Student of the teacher.
Well, you ignorant.
That's the teacher.
Like, man, you got better. Yo, you ignorant. You ignorant, man.
You see,
No.
MOT. You see, MOT.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying you don't know anything. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You haven't read any books. You're ignorant.
All right, man. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. Since I'm off for the rest of, I plan on being off till April, unless I'm going to drive somewhere and get another contract or do some more of this COVID vaccine shit that pays a lot. I want to thank everybody for coming.
I should be asleep, man. I got a class at 8 in the morning, man. I got to work. God damn.
Sure. What time zone you in?
So I'm here in Boston, man. It's
Oh God, yeah, man. You East Coast, man. You like 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
Yeah, man. I remember them days when I used to be back in California. Jen was lovely, man. That would have been about 9 o'clock over there, right? No, 11.
Nah, I'm still kind of on the East Coast myself. Well, not on the East Coast. I'm not on the East Coast, but I'm still in the Eastern time zone. Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a while because I got a lot of contacts in areas that I need to hit up. But that's where I'm at, man. And
yeah, MOT. I sent you that email, man, the other day, man. I need to chop it up with you too, man.
No, man, but there needs to be like a stream. Hopefully, I don't get like a lot of dumbass questions, man.
Yeah, no, it's just I understand what you're saying because it'll be a great opportunity to kind of like put some things out there, but it's
yeah, but I'm creating like an ebook and a program that costs a lot of money, and y'all don't realize how much shit I'm giving away for free versus the people who are actually on YouTube who talk about trucking and they don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah. My uncle's a bus driver. A truck driver. He just had an accident the other day. No, it's just some questions I have overall by the industry, and as I told you.
Well, I guess we already here, man. Well, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, some things, they're a bit personal to me, where I work, what I do, and things of that nature. So, you let me know if you want. Hey, all these guys are making money. All these gifters are making money off consultation. So you might as well start making money off consultation.
Like, dude, listen. My shit actually works. I can't give consultations on shit that works. Because that's all I ever be doing is making people millions of dollars a year. I mean, you can only give consultations on shit that don't fucking work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like, I wanted to just lay out as far as, my career path and where I've been
Okay.
from the military to what I'm doing now, and I just told you I did supply, some of the experience that I have, and tell you a few details, whatnot, because I'm thinking about leaving, public service. I'm in public service. Obviously, I don't want to say too much on here, but
you can live abroad and do nothing but like it's very easy to live abroad and be the person who ships and receives actual freight internationally. That's a very easy career field.
Mm-hmm.
Probably far easier and less fucking less money intensive to do that, because once I pack the fuck up and get the fuck out of here, that's exclusively what I'm going to be doing for the federal government, is shipping and receiving into military bases overseas. That's what I don't like the word on.
Mm-hmm. Does that sound, well, the shipping that doesn't sound more like a freight broker? Does that
It
feel
is freight broker. That's exactly what it is.
Bro, I swear to God, man, on my notebook, man, I have notes I keep online, man. I have notes from like 5-6 years ago, man, about like the freight broker course I was supposed to have done, freight forwarding and all that shit, man. I never did none of that. And then now 5 years later, where I'm at, I'm in a good situation, right? A public servant, you don't get paid a whole lot of money, but the job is pretty steady. But just looking at stuff, I'm like, I do have some capability to make some moves or whatnot, and what you just said right there, because I'm also big in traveling, I do mess with the traveling community guys, whatnot. So I'm kind of thinking about like, how can I make something happen to where, I have more time to travel, or I'm able to just move overseas.
Yeah, man, but you gotta stop thinking big and you gotta think small, because there are small comforts that people want when they're not in America over there. And the sick amount of money that's being made on simplistic shit over there is outrageous. Products that you can stock in like the BX or the PX and all that kind of, dude, it's too much shit. Like I said, you can't mentor this type of shit because you have to commodify everything that's part of the Black American or even any type of American experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a guy and you was able to get high end clothing over on military bases and like the actual that shit, that's not some what do you call it? Fake shit that be sold in the stores, man. You can make a lot of money, dude. Too much money you can be made on
Hey,
that.
MOT, I don't mean to interrupt you. I see somebody, and this is why I said, like, I know this is a conversation between me and you, but and not that I want to be messy with the chat. I have somebody teach me how to do what I never intended to do. This is hilarious, and this is actually hilarious though. Like I told MOT, my background is logistics. I actually my degree is in business management and logistics, right? I've done warehousing. my mother export things to the Caribbean. I mean, guys, I don't know me, but it's all good though. My mother frequently take trips to China and do like $75,000-$80,000 transactions easy. We have a house down south that paid off, but for $250,000. Here's kids, go get your house. So it's all good. Talk shit. Yeah, the Haitian guy. And we work hard. So that's why somebody wanted to call me ignorant or whatnot. It's all good. But yeah, I will email you MOT. We can chop it up. There's a few things I kind of want to get your point of view on. We'll talk about it.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't know. I can't hear this dude speaking. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. I'll be on tomorrow night. You guys have a nice one. All right. Peace.
Peace.